Until today, we'd never done a crazy thing in our whole life. My name is Eric, and I'm with my best friends, Jason and Eddie.
This is how we do it at the Jubilee Project. We don't own mirrors, so we have to change or closets or homes right now.
Jay, can you fix my tie?
So we have to change on the street.
So what do you have to do, Eddie?
I'm gonna go say goodbye to the White House, to the president, tell him how proud I was to work for him, that I could invite my family out, and I thought, no, there's no better family than my Jubilee Project family.
In 2010, we started Jubilee Project to make videos on YouTube. The more we made, the more we fell in love with making them. At the same time, we were stuck in unfulfilling lives, but it took us a while before we got enough courage to do something about it. That's when Jason left his job in consulting, Eddie left his job at the White House, and I left Harvard Medical School. But before we left, there was one more thing we had to do.
Just met the President of the United States, told him that we were off to do Jubilee Project full-time, that we were quitting our jobs and leaving our school. That was a once-in-a-lifetime moment. It's bittersweet to be moving on from the White House, but we've got so much more that we're doing now.
However, many people were skeptical, especially our parents. They broke down crying, thinking we were throwing away our lives. In the next 10 minutes, we want to show why this decision was worth it. Our friend Kate invited us to make a film about a really special story in Indonesia.
I grew up in a typical American small town. I never ever left the country before. But when I was younger, I had dreams of wanting to change the world. And what I didn't expect was that the world was going to change me.
My fellow students and graduates, congratulations.
After I finished college, I accepted a fellowship to come to Indonesia, and I spent the year working here at Rumah Cemara, an HIV/AIDS organization. I've never worked really closely before with recovering addicts, men covered in tattoos and people with really rough life histories and experiences. It seems intimidating at first.
Kate introduced us to her boyfriend Ginan, founder of Rumah Cemara and leader of the AIDS movement.
When did you know that you liked her?
At the first hug, when I see her face.
I arrived at 7 o'clock in this new city. I knew nothing about it. And then all of a sudden, I see this hand sticking up from the corner, this tattooed arm, waving his hand, and kind of called me over and just gave me a huge hug.
Hello from Mendon. We are in the best public transportation in the world. Say hi, Ginan.
How do you feel about the public transportation in Indonesia as I sit on your lap?
It allows you to get so cozy with people.
Yeah, this is what they call a bus in Indonesia, but this is what I call a party.
That football field is very special to the community there. It's a very poor community that lives there, and they're just so passionate about wanting to do better for themselves and better for their kids. I think people love playing there so much because it represents what it means to be a family.
We're about to play these little kids in soccer. They look pretty good though, so it's a little scary.
Lost to the kids. Whew, too old for this.
We're going to come back next year though, and we're going to beat them. One more year. We're going to practice, run really hard, and come back. It's really good.
Even though we lost, that day, we met this amazing kid named Fijar.
Fijar is a sweet, lovely, beautiful boy who lives near the soccer field in that neighborhood, so full of positive energy.
Are you dancing?
You want to dance?
But he has a pretty tough life. His father is struggling with a drug addiction and is HIV positive, and his mom is a sex worker and she works on a different island, so she's not around. And so he doesn't have parents present in his life. So I worry about Fijar. He's like a son to me and to Ginan.
But while we were there, Fijar became sick.
I don't know if Fijar is HIV positive or negative.
Do you suspect that he is?
Well, his dad is living with HIV, and his mom has a very high-risk job as a sex worker, which means that Fijar is certainly at a high risk of having HIV. But it's very often that you might not see any symptoms in a child until they're 6 to 8 years old, even if they're positive. So they might seem very healthy their whole childhood.
Fijar was scared to get tested, so we decided to go first.
And it is going in right now, and okay.
Go. Get it. Get it. Come on.
Iya, pasti karena ya hebat sekali. Jangan bergerak ya, jangan bergerak. Hebat.
HIV is associated with being immoral, and even though clearly this poor boy's done nothing at all immoral, he'll still be on the receiving end of hate. If he were positive, and anyone found out that he were positive, then most parents at that school would probably petition to have him kicked out of school. It's happened several times.
And so now we wait.
And so now we wait.
How lucky we are if we can live our life just the way we are.
I was always kind of amused that as different as we were on almost every level, we had the same values and that we had the same kind of positive vision.
Our vision is dreaming Indonesia without stigma, discrimination toward people living with HIV.
He's Indonesian, I'm American.
This is also about the personal stuff.
He's covered in tattoos, I don't have any.
There is a moment that I don't have courage to live my life.
He has this history and background of drug addiction.
I don't have any futures. I kicked out by my father. I living on the street.
He's HIV positive and I do not have HIV.
In my head is death, death, and death. I thought I gonna die soon.
If Fijar could live a normal, happy, healthy, long life, it would make me so happy because he is so precious and he has so much to give the world that if he had the chance to do that and to live his life fully, the world would be in for something really special.
This is the ARV. I take it twice a day.
Cheers.
Cheers, my respect.
He's done really, really well on the treatment that he's on. His viral load's undetectable.
I've been living with HIV already 13 years. There is a lot of my friends who not taking their RT and then they pass away.
What would happen if the Global Fund stopped giving money to Indonesia?
New infection will coming up.
And most people can't afford to pay for the medicine themselves.
With the issue with the Global Fund, it's like life and death.
If all of a sudden he has to stop taking those because they're no longer accessible, that means all the progress he's made reverts. That means he's essentially living in a world where people didn't have access to this medication, and when you get HIV, you die. And that means, yeah, don't want to go there.
I want to know, have you ever seen a rain? Yeah, I want to know, have you ever seen a rain?
I certainly did think about the fact that he has HIV, because even though when you're living with HIV, you can live a long, healthy life, and his viral load is undetectable, so he's, you know, non-transmissible to me. I think it's still a concern that you think about and worry about of, you know, is he going to really have a long, healthy life? Am I really protected? You kind of think extra hard about the things that you know to be true.
If I too much thinking about that, then I think I dead already. So I would rather thinking about life, and I will be alive.
You know, so many people here have struggled through so much, and I've relatively struggled through so little in my life. And the way that they struggle through that, keep a huge smile on their face, are always looking for the next thing they can do to make a difference and help other people, even though they've struggled through things. That's what I want to be like. That's what I want to be able to do with my life.
So, was it worth it? I'm not gonna lie. We had doubts about leaving behind the comforts and stability of our jobs and school. It's because ever since we were kids, we were taught what it meant to be successful. Get straight A's, go to Harvard, become a doctor, lawyer, or businessman. But the truth is, even with all that success, we felt empty and even fell into depression. We realized that these things were never going to fully satisfy us. That's why we took a leap of faith. This thing on? Hey everyone, it's been a little over a year since we took that leap of faith. It hasn't always been easy, but it's been the best year of our life getting to pursue what we love.
And that time with Kate and Ginan was really special and really touched us and inspired us to live for something much greater than ourselves.
That's why we're very excited to announce the Jubilee Project Tour. If you're interested in inviting us out to your school or your church to talk about what it means to live for something greater, please go to this link right here.
That's right. And also, finally, check out our new t-shirts, JP Love t-shirts. Every one of these icons represents something from one of our films. So go to dgicstore.com and buy one now.
So join us as we continue this journey. Together, we could be a glimpse of Jubilee in this often broken but beautiful world.
JP Love.